What is it, guys, and welcome to another video. Today we were doing a movie review of The Hateful Eight. This is the eighth film by Quentin Tarantino, so obviously he directed it. And when you walk to this theater, when you look at this movie, pay for the ticket, you get this cool little pamphlet here, The Hateful Eight. Everybody gets this, and it's really cool how how Quentin Tarantino funded this to everybody. It basically just shows a bunch of pictures. At first, when I saw that somebody else get it, I thought it was only for like critics and reserved seating. The movie only has reserved seating, and obviously they wanted you to have a really cool experience by watching this film. And if you guys have followed my Instagram account, you guys know that I love this movie because I gave my first initial impressions on my Instagram yesterday when I posted it late at night. It's a 3-hour movie, 2 hours and 47 minutes, so 13 minutes short from 3 hours. And in a way, people want to say, if it's a 3-hour movie, you have to see if it disappoints from that time range or if it keeps you very, intrigued. And this movie does both. Now, let's start with, the actors in the movie. The actors, I have the pamphlet right here because, you don't... So the actors are very well in this movie. Everybody acted amazing in this movie, especially Walton Goggins. We have Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Madsen, Damian Bichir, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bruce Dern, Tim Roth as Oswaldo, or the Little Man, aka the Hangman. He very cool character in the movie. I really liked him. He's very funny, really cool accent. You gotta love the character. And Walton Goggins as the sheriff, Kurt Russell as John Ruth. Samuel L. Jackson is basically kind of the guy that you want to root for in a way. He does some dirty shit and everything, but you still, in a way, for me at least, I always rooted with him through the film. So the movie has, first of all, it has probably the best cinematography I've ever seen in a film before. I know that a lot of people have been saying The Revenant has really good cinematography, and that probably might have better cinematography because it's more of a moving movie. This movie is, it's not only like, the movie, half of it is them in a carriage. Like I said, this is spoiler-free, so half of it is them in a carriage. Well, I mean, the first half an hour is them in a carriage, and then the rest of it is they're all in a cabin. I'm not going to say anything more or less about that. They're in a cabin for the rest of the movie. The things that happens in the cabin it's quite spectacular, actually. It's brutal, and the trailer really hides everything about this, which I kind of liked in a way, because when I first saw this trailer, I really did not know how to think about this movie. First of all, I thought Channing Tatum had a bigger role in this film. He did not have as big as a role. He still had a big role, but not as big as I thought. That's all I'll say about that. And I thought there would be a lot more action in this movie. But then I saw some reviews, and I saw that this is a very dialogue-driven movie, and I knew what I was in for, basically. So, let me just set up, the lighting is bad. So, The Hateful Eight, is the eighth film by Quentin Tarantino, and basically he's done other movies like Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, what is it? Reservoir Dogs. I want to see that, really, because I've seen that in a while, but I haven't seen it. So, this is actually a special roadshow engagement presented in 70mm, and 70mm is, I think, it's basically like, it's kind of like the shaky footage, not shaky footage, it's like the shaky kind of thing in the old movies and the static in a way. It's not exactly filmed like that, but it really has an old kind of feel. It's a Western old kind of feel of a film like that. And that's what's so special about this movie, that Quentin Tarantino really wanted you to dive into this Western, just gritty, snowy atmosphere, and he really did an amazing job at it. The cinematography is top notch. The soundtrack is unbelievable. It really captured you and really surrounded you in this environment. You feel like you couldn't get out for another 2 hours and 47 minutes, basically. Samuel L. Jackson is very good in this movie. I mean, every actor in this movie is very good. I mean, every role they portrayed, it's like you can't get anything else more out of them. I really didn't think, in the beginning, Walton Goggins, you can really feel like, with Walton Goggins in this movie, he was the only actor that I actually had little problems with in the beginning. You could feel that he was still warming up to his character in the beginning of the movie, and throughout, it's so true that this is probably going to be one of their best actors' work. I mean, this is a very masterful film. And this movie is very underrated by Rotten Tomatoes critics. They only gave this movie a 75%. When the movie first came out, it was a 95%. And I really think they should bump it back up to that, because 75% is extremely underrating this film. 75% really, I mean, the Avengers did better than this movie in a way. I mean, seriously? I mean, that's not good. The Avengers got 90%, which I honestly think it's overrated. I think that movie deserves, it's just a 70%, just 75, I don't know. The Avengers, I think it's a cool movie, but whatever. So, yeah, The Hateful Eight is a very good film, and you need to check it out. Now, before going to this movie, I want to say, if don't bring your kids. Your kid's not gonna like this movie one bit. There's so much dialogue, talk in this movie. They're not gonna understand shit, and they're not gonna like shit. They're gonna, and then when the action comes, they're still gonna be like, "Get me out of here! This doesn't look nice at all." It's brutal. It's gritty. It's very realistic, and it's all kind of in a story by itself. Now, let me just get my one complaint out of the way. My only one complaint is that from the beginning to the middle, or just the middle of the film before the intermission, there is an intermission in this film where it's just 15-minute break. Never seen that before, but I'm pretty sure, like, before this movie started, it said overtime or over something like that, and that's what they used to do in the old movies. But yeah, so then the movie started, then we have the intermission, and then it just finished off the movie. Intermission, we still like an hour and 30 minutes left in the movie. It goes halfway, the intermission. So basically, what was I saying? In the middle of the movie, it kind of went slow-paced. I feel like the dialogue was good and everything, but the dialogue was not good enough. Honestly, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with that film, or with that certain part in the movie. Their dialogue was, I don't know, it wasn't that intriguing. Like, we knew what they were talking about, and they went so in-depth with this particular story that happened. I just kind of got bored with it. I wish something would happen more. I was listening to the dialogue, guys. I knew everything that happened in this movie. I knew before going into The Hateful Eight, this was a very dialogue-driven movie, filled with dialogue, and I knew that I had to pay attention to the dialogue to actually understand the story, and that is exactly what you have to do. Now, don't think of it this way, oh, if I don't listen to the dialogue, I will not know shit. Not exactly. Well, basically, yes, but, like, it doesn't mean, like, nobody goes into the movie and doesn't listen to dialogue. Like, nobody does that. I mean, I don't know anybody that does, but if you do, just don't watch this movie, because you'll think it's boring as shit. You have to pay attention to the dialogue, but it's not like observe it and speculate it. Critics do that. You don't have to do it with this movie. You just have to make sure you know what they're saying, everything that they're saying going on. It's not like a mind bender. It's nothing to hurt your mind or anything like that. The Hateful Eight is a very enjoyable movie, very gritty, and not as enjoyable as other movies. The way I mean that, it's kind of like, it gives you like a weird feeling, and I kind of like that because it really just gives you, like I said, Quentin Tarantino did such a good did such a good job with immersing you into the atmosphere of the Western times, and when there's cold fronts and blizzards outside and we need to go into a cabin. So basically, the Hateful Eight is basically about like these. It's simple. It's just these 8 bounty hunters, hangmans, sheriffs, all these different kind of people come to a cabin in a blizzard, and they have to stay together. All of them has a story. And basically, this cabin is in the middle from Red Rock, which Red Rock is obviously a known city where you can turn in bounties and people can hang there. And then another state, I don't know where the guy was coming from. That never was explained. But I wish they could have done that a little bit more too. I wish they could have explained where they were coming from and put a little bit more story behind like where they came from and why they're going over there. I mean, they give a story of why they came over there, but I'm getting lost in my words right now. So yeah, guys. I'm going to give The Hateful Eight a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The reason why I'm not giving it a 5 out of 5 stars is because I feel like that's a little bit overrating it. Because honestly, I would love to overrate a film like this, but there are flaws in it. And as a critic, you have to notice the flaws in this movie. Initially, when it came out of this movie theater, I said 5 out of 5. I mean, I had no complaints with it. But with a film, if you like a movie, you come out of the theaters and you don't know what to say. I mean, with me, like I don't notice the flaws, and I have to really think of it. I write my review and then I speculate, what everything that happened. I'm like, okay, so I'm starting to notice the flaws in this film. So basically, guys, The Hateful Eight does have very little flaws, not worth mentioning at all. Just the pacing and the dialogue just didn't get really anywhere through the middle of the story. The beginning was top notch. The ending was the best ending I've ever seen in my life. Not in my life, but like it's a very special ending, and Quentin Tarantino could not have done anything better with it. It's so obvious that the soundtrack, the cinematography, everything mixed in so well. The acting, everything just mixed in so well with this film, and it's such a simple plot, but they make it so complex. That's the thing. If you guys think this whole movie is just about them killing each other and just trying to survive in a cabin or do all this stupid shit in a cabin, no, it's not. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. You guys are wrong. This is the thing good about The Hateful Eight. The Quentin Tarantino surprised you in this movie, and that is why it's a good movie. This movie, you had no idea what was gonna happen. You saw a basis. You said, okay, now I'm ready for whatever next gonna happen. But no, this guy does not let you. He does not let you, believe anything you think is going to happen in this film. He doesn't let you be like, oh, that's going to happen. No, there's no clichéness at all in this film. Because first of all, there's not many movies out there that are just dialogue driven, and to make a movie like this and keep you so persevered and very intrigued, that's very impressive. So guys, I'm going to give The Hateful Eight a 9.5 out of 10 and a 4.5 stars out of 5. Like I said, my only complaint is the pacing was a little off and the dialogue could have been a little bit more driven toward the middle of the story. But yeah, guys, that's The Hateful Eight. Let me give you guys a real quick picture. Yeah, that's The Hateful Eight. These are pictures right here. Go check out this movie, not with your kid. I mean, if you're a teenager, you'll like the movie if you appreciate films. But if you're just a person and just likes to watch movies now and then, most likely you're not going to appreciate this film. Like, honestly, if you're going to watch The Hateful Eight, you got to be a moviegoer, and that's exactly what I am. That's all for my review, guys. My next video will be the best films of 2015. I will not be making a worst films of 2015 list, and I will make sure that I explain you guys to that in the beginning of my best films. And I'll make that towards this week. You know, I'm still moving into my new house, so maybe I'll make it in my new house. But I'm also gonna have a new house tour. It's gonna be really cool, guys. A lot of new content coming on my channel, and I hope you guys check it out. So yeah, that's all for my review, guys, of The Hateful Eight, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Amazing soundtrack, amazing cinematography, amazing riveting story, amazing dialogue. That's probably the best part of this film. And it's just so riveting. It's so intense. Oh my god. It's just like, you were like scarred when you come out of that movie in a good way. Not like the Human Centipede way. No one wants to be scarred that way. So yeah, guys, that's all for my review, guys, today. If you guys like my video as usual, please leave a like and subscribe. Please comment other movie reviews you want me to do. And be like, Sebastian, watch this movie in theaters. Dick, watch it. Okay, I'll watch it. So yeah, guys. That's all for my review, guys. The Hateful Eight, 4 out of 5 stars. You guys have a wonderful day.